Good day, ladies and gents, this is Leo from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Roundup, and I'll be rounding up this week's Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, OCG, and Master Duel news. All sources will be linked in the description below. Thank you YG Organization for continuing to report all things Yu-Gi-Oh! And the translators for allowing players to continue to choreograph new support ahead of the TCG schedule. We appreciate all the work you've done for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. Disclaimer, I will only be covering news in relation to Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, OCG, and Master Duel formats, as we do not have an official TCG Rush Duel format, and all merchandise and anime related news will be omitted from this roundup. These videos are more so about getting people up to speed on the latest Yu-Gi-Oh! Physical card game news of the week, so I'll only be highlighting a few key cards from any of the new card reveals. First, I recommend you make your own opinion of the new reveals after reading what the rest of the new revealed cards do. Without further ado, let's begin the news roundup. Another double whammy of Yu-Gi-Oh! News due to personal life taking priority over making these videos. And there's a lot of news the past fortnight, so sit back, relax, enjoy some tea, and allow me to throw down some Yu-Gi-Oh! News for the week of 3rd and 10th July. Starting things off will be a couple of things I wasn't able to cover from the week of 26th of June, in the form of Angel Ring, a new equip spell, which does the following. You can only equip this to a monster you control that is already equipped with another equip card. You can only control one Angel Ring, negate the effect of your opponent's first spell card or effect that resolves each turn. Once per turn, you can gain 500 life points, then destroy this card. If you do, your opponent cannot target the monster it was equipped with card effects. Barring the fact that the card art looks like the new Angelica Princess of Noble Arms, this is a solid equip spell for the archetypes that take advantage of them. Pikanko and Infernobles come to mind in this case. Its restriction is that it can only be allowed to be equipped to a monster that's already equipped, which I think is fair, because this card can negate the effect of your opponent's first spell card or effect that resolves each turn. So think of it this way, you have Emperor Charles the Great ready to negate a spell effect, and Angel Ring equipped. Say they activate Lightning Storm, Charles negates that effect, and then they play Dark Ruler no more. Angel Ring now negates that effect since Lightning Storm never resolved, despite it being the first spell card or effect of the turn. There's also the funny interaction of Glory of the Noble Knights, a quick play spell that allows you to target a Noble Knight monster and instantly equip it with an equip spell. So once again, Dark Rule No More activates. Your Emperor Charles has no Angel Ring and can't respond to Dark Rule No More since monsters can't respond to it. You can chain Glory of the Noble Knights to it, target Charles, who already have an equip spell on him, resolve to equip Angel Ring, then Dark Rule No More attempts to resolve. Since Angel Ring is now equipped, you can negate the Dark Rule No More. Need I advise, the third effect, the target protection, is permanent, so that's still some solid protection for your boss monster. Angel Ring has its place, there's going to be some more interactions down the line, but this is pretty awesome, not going to lie. OCG is now getting their own English language version of their cards. We have confirmation that 2 structure decks, Rise of the Blue Eyes and Illusion of the Dark Magicians, will be releasing in OCG with the English language text. And not only that, the Creation Pack 1 and Duelist Nexus will also be getting their English language release as well. These will be coming out in the OCG in the November-December period. Nemnolia is getting a new trap in the form of a continuous trap, Nemnolia Repet. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control another Nemnolia card, you can banish up to 3 cards from your extra deck, face down, except Dreaming Nemnolia. To activate the appropriate effect, one card is add 1 Nemnolia card from your graveyard to your hand. If you banish 2 cards, any damage you take this turn is halved. If you banish 3 cards, send 1 level 10 beast monster you control to the graveyard. If you do, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. Not bad, a way for Nemnolia to recycle cards, grind, and even break boards. It's a solid card, we'll see if it has any impact though. This section will now be covering all the Master Duel news for the past fortnight. Master Duel has their new solo mode in Ally of Justice, which will provide the following rewards: 450 Dark Orbs, 150 Light Orbs, 3 copies of Ally of Justice Claw Solace, 3 copies of Ally Mine, Ally of Justice Catasta Sleeves, 2 Legacy Pack tickets, Ally of Justice Catasta Icon, and 200 gems. If this is a sign of dual terminal storylines coming in, I'm all for it, because of intriguing archetypes that have some stories to tell, and I'm excited nonetheless. To coincide with this, just yesterday, as of uploading this video, Master Duel has dropped a new ban list to coincide with the release of 2 new selection packs. In this case, Silver, Warlord of Dark World, and Branded Expulsion are now forbidden as of yesterday. The selection packs itself are the Trap in the Wicked Castle and Dreaded Conspiracy, with the former dropping the Labyrinth archetype into the game and the latter dropping support for Darkwell, Trap Chicks, and Generators. We also have new shop items in the form of a new mate base, some Summer Trace of the Thunder God, thank God, I love that little base, Traptalizing Tune and Rainbow Overking of Dark World sleeves, Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle icon, and Evil Eye of Selene icon frame. Some quality of life changes as well. Red Eyes Black Dragon now has a game-ending effect, much like Dark Magician Go, and Blue Eyes White Dragon, And people that forget about the Imperm column now have a visual indicator about it too. Now you really can't mess up that Imperm column. Or can you? There are other changes, but I'll leave you to read it yourself if you want to know about them. These 2 just stick out to me. We're going to cover all the Age of Overlord cards in this segment for the past fortnight. So I'll start things off with Baphomet, the Phantom Beast Dark Ruler, a level 6 Wind Fiend fusion effect monster with 2400 attack and 600 defense, requiring 2 monsters with different types between Beast, Fiend, and Illusion. You're going to use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. This card's name becomes Chimera, the flying mythical beast, while on the field or in the graveyard, but is still treated as a Phantom Beast card. If this card is fusion summoned, you can send one Beast, Fiend, or Illusion monster from your deck to the graveyard. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished Beast, Fiend, or Illusion monsters, except Baphomet the Phantom Beast Dark Ruler, special summon it. This is actually pretty solid. It's a foolish for any of the Beast, Fiend, Illusion monsters, and there are some pretty good targets to send. Heck, in the Illusion monsters lineup, like the new Mirror Swordsman, they have a graveyard effect to negate a monster effect if you control Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast. It's a solid card, and you can bring it back with its third effect as well, so you have another negate live once you have Chimera on field. I like it. We have a new mini archetype which looks like they will be starting a new storyline. We have the Tainted Treasure archetype with 1 effect monster, 2 quick play spells, and a trap. Let's just cover the main monster, Diabel Star, the Dark Witch, a level 7 Dark Spellcaster effect monster with 2500 attack and 2000 defense. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard. If this card is normal or special summon, you can set one Tainted Treasure spell or trap directly from your deck. If this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard during your opponent's turn, you can send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card. This is a solid card, easy to bring out, and you can keep reviving yourself if you have the resources to send to the graveyard. Also, the ability to set a spell or trap directly from deck is very good, as you cannot Ash that. She also has that edgy look that I have a soft spot for, and the archetype honestly seems pretty cool. Love the art. I recommend you read the other cards' effects in the articles listed in the description. It looks pretty solid, this one. To go along with Diabel Star, we have the new Snake Eye archetype, which is actually teased in Duelist Nexus under the Tainted Treasure Continuous spell, which revolve around a fire, pyro attribute, and type respectively, barring the big boss monster, that's a dragon type. Let's pick up those bonfires then. This new archetype has 4 new effect monsters, 2 new spells, 1 field and 1 normal, and a trap card. I'll talk about the big boy of the group, Snake Eyes Flamberg Dragon, a level 8 fire dragon effect monster with 3000 attack and 2500 defense. We're going to use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can target one monster in the graveyard or face up on the field. Place it face up in its owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target one monster card on the field treated as a continuous spell, special summon it to your field. This card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard. You can special summon 2 level 1 fire monsters from your graveyard. Oh boy, let's break this down. This big fella can effectively remove a monster from the field into the spell and trap zone, and then you can even take ownership of it after that? That's a good effect! Not only that, it can bring back 2 level 1 fire monsters, which this archetype has a bunch of, when it dies. And they're very good. One of them even adds a level 1 fire monster, and the other can recur a level 1 fire monster that is banished or in the graveyard. This archetype seems to have a lot of card advantage, and I can't wait to see how this goes down when it releases. We love our birds, cause new Shinobird support is dropping with 2 new ritual monsters and 1 new field spell. I'll cover the field spell. The Himorogi where stars align, and it does the following. Once per turn, you can ritual summon 1 wind ritual monster from your deck by attributing spirit monsters and or Shinobird token to control whose total levels equal or exceed the level. Up to twice per turn, if a face-up wind monster you control returns to the hand, you can activate one of these effects. Add one of your spirit monsters or ritual spells that is banished or in your graveyard to your hand, or set 1 stars align across the Milky Way directly from your deck. This is interesting, albeit I don't play rituals so I don't know how this stacks up, but this seems pretty good that it can just ritual summon from deck. Of course, you are restricted to only using Shinobird tokens and spirit monsters, but I'm going to assume Shinobirds have ways to bring those tokens out easily. The ability to recur a ritual spell seems pretty good, as well as setting up the trap also seems nice. It seems you can have the ability to ritual summon on the opponent's turn with consistency. I like it. I will see how this turns out though. Like I said in the previous video, this year is really the year of fire with Fire Recovery, a normal spell that does the following. You're going to use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Target 1 fire monster in your graveyard. Send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon that monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 3 of your fire monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw 1 card. Wow, okay, this is really nice. Yes, you need to send a card for effect to basically be a monster reborn, but this isn't too bad if you have a good hand of resource, and the recursion for the grind game is also something to think about. An example will be with Infernobles, especially because they have access to Phoenix Blade. If Phoenix Blade is in your hand, activate Fire Recovery. Target, for example, Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles, send Phoenix Blade, bring him back. Phoenix Blade to banish 2 warriors, let's say any of the Infernobles since they're fire, and it's back to its hand, effectively negating the send required to use Fire Recovery. Then, if you have other fire monsters in your banish or graveyard, shuffle them back to the deck and draw 1. It's pretty great. I like this card. So much good fire tech cards this year. We have a new fusion monster to go alongside the Animation Chronicle Earthbound Servant cards. Earthbound Servant Geo Gremlina, a level 6 Dark Fiend fusion effect monster with 2000 attack and 1000 defense, requiring 1 Earthbound monster and 1 Dark monster. You're going to use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name once per turn. This card is special summon. You can add 1 Earthbound monster from your deck to your hand, except Earthbound Spirit. You can target 1 Dark Synchro monster you control. It can attack directly this turn. If the monster your opponent controls is destroyed by an Earthbound card's effect, you can target 1 of those destroyed monsters, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. It's a super bully target for Earthbounds, I guess. It does allow you to add another Earthbound to your hand, which is always nice. You're still in card disadvantage though, considering that. The ability for a Dark Synchro to attack directly is a nice touch to go for OTKs, and the burn effect is kind of nice for time. Until we see the Earthbound service in TCG, I don't know where this lines up, but on paper it does sound nice. For fire support, baby, we got Infernal Flame Banshee, a rank 4 Fire Pyro Xyz effect monster with 1700 attack and 600 defense, requiring 2 level 4 monsters. You're gonna use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can detach 1 material from this card, take 1 Pyro monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. This card becomes banished and you control a Pyro monster. You can special summon this card. If you do, it gains 100 attack for each of your monsters currently banished until the end of this turn. Hey, we got a Pyro version of Gallant Granite. This time allows you to also forge a Pyro monster. This is great Pyro support. I don't know if Volcanics have enough level 4s to make this, but if they do, this honestly seems like a great choice to put in their deck. I suppose if you have a bunch of banished monsters for the revival effect, this can get relatively high, I would like to believe, but I could be wrong. I'd love to see the fire love this year. Zexal fans or Shark fans, if you're out there, we got some new Armored cards with the extra deck to take advantage of with 3 new Xyz effect monsters, 1 spell and 1 trap. Guess it makes sense why we got the Armored Xyz card in Animation Chronicles now. I'll cover this big guy. Full Armored Dark Lancer, a rank 7 Water Aqua Xyz effect monster with 2000 attack and 1500 defense, requiring 3 level 7 monsters. Once per turn, you can also Xyz Full Armored Dark Lancer by using a rank 5 or 6 monster you control as material. Transfer its materials to this card. It gains 300 attack for each material attached to it, and each card equipped to it. Once per turn, you can target 1 Xyz card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Once per turn, if a monster you control becomes equipped with an equipped card, you can attach 1 monster your opponent controls to this card as material. Hang on, wow, this card can get beefy, and it's not too bad to rank up into it as well. Xyz summon the new Xyz Armor Torpedo, use its effect to detach 2 and then draw 1. Then Xyz summon into Xyz Armor Fortress, use its effect to add an Armored Xyz card. Since it no longer has material, it can be used as material for an Xyz summon after. Then you go into Full Armored Dark Lancer after that. It will start off at 3300 then. If you happen to be able to equip Xyz Armor Torpedo to it or anything to it, you can just attach 1 monster your opponent controls this card as material. No targeting, no nothing. Just attach. Really strong removal, and it recurs other Xyz cards back to your hand from the graveyard, so grind game is solid too. I like this new support, and would love to try this archetype out one day. Tech Genesis and Bruno fans, we got you covered and up to speed. Here's some Tech Genesis support that was announced alongside the Armored support. We have 1 new effect monster, 3 new synchro effect monsters, 2 new spells, 1 normal and 1 continuous, and a counter trap card. I'll cover the new boss himself, Tech Genesis Glaive Blaster, a level 12 Earth Machine synchro effect monster with 4000 attack and defense, requiring 1 tuner synchro monster and 2 or more non-tuner synchro monsters. Must be synchro summoned. Quick effect, you can target 1 monster special summon from the extra deck, banish it. You can use this effect a number of times per turn up to the number of non-tuner synchro monsters used as synchro material for this card. Once per turn, if a monster becomes banished face up, you can target 1 of them, special summon it to your field, ignoring its summoning conditions. Yo, what? This guy basically can banish at least 2 cards from the extra deck, and then revive it back to your side? How evil is that? But bringing this man out is a toughie, since you need a tuner synchro and at least 2 non-tuner synchros. So if you do bring him out, the payout is pretty worth. Followed out with the counter trap, Tech Genesis Close, which is a literal Omni Negate as long as you control a machine TG monster, which Glaive Blaster is. Not only that, if a synchro monster does get banished while it's in the grave, you can just reset this card back to your field for another Omni Negate for the next turn. That's insane! What's really evil is, say the opponent has Baron for example, and it somehow has Destruction Protection. I'll leave that to your dimension, up to your imagination, I don't know. You have Glaive Blaster, and your new Tech Genesis Close set. You activate Glaive Blaster effect to banish the Baron. Baron responds with Negate on Glaive Blaster's effect. You counter negate Baron with Close. Close resolves to negate the Baron effect. It doesn't destroy with the Close effect for the purpose of this example thanks to some Destruction Protection. Baron's effect doesn't go off, and then Glaive Blaster banishes it. Glaive Buster then brings the Baron back to your side, and Baron will have a new Omnigate live, and since a Synchro monster was banished on his turn, Close resets itself back to the field. God, I'm pretty keen for the Tech Genesis support, and look at that Trident Launcher price hype increase. And all those other Tech Genesis cards too. Fun. Alright, last of the Age of Overlord cards for now. We have Synchro Rumble, a normal spell which does the following. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Target one tuner or one level 7 or 8 dragon synchro monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn after this card resolves except synchro monsters. If Crimson Dragon and or a level 7 or 8 dragon synchro monster you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. A solid extender, and the tuner doesn't have any limitation either, so it could be a Synchro Tuner, Ritual Tuner, Fusion Tuner, you name it. And the ability to banish this card to save your Crimson Dragon and other level 7 or 8 Dragon Synchros is a nice touch. Cool cards, Synchro's eating it up this year too, aren't they? Alright, now we have the effect of the new jump promo, Brayonak the Dragon of Icy Malevolence, a level 6 Water Sea Serpent Synchro effect monster with 2300 attack and 1400 defense, requiring one tuner and one or more non-tuner monsters. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. This card is synchro summoned, you can discard one card, then target one card on the field, return it to the hand. This card is special summoned from the graveyard, you can discard one card, then target one card on the field, return it to the hand. Okay, you have to discard a card to bounce, and they're hard once per turn. It's alright. It's nice that you can bounce again on revive, so it's cool to see that there's purpose to the synchro climb with this card, but do let me know if this card is actually worth a slot in any synchro deck or not. We have our first archetype breakdown in the deck build set, Valiant Smashers, with the Memento archetype, with 6 new effect monsters, 3 new spells, 2 quick plays and 1 field spell, and 2 new traps, 1 normal and 1 continuous. This archetype looks like it's bringing back old monsters from the original Duel Monsters era and revamping them for this archetype, which is a cool touch, kind of like how the Trendosaurus cards were in Wild Survivors. I'll cover the big boss himself, Mementolo Tekutlika the Never Skulled Dragon, a level 11 Earthworm effect monster with 500 attack and defense. It cannot be normal summoned or set, it must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by shuffling 5 other Memento monsters with different names from your hand and or graveyard into the deck or extra deck. If you control no other monsters, this card can attack all opponent's monsters each once. Once per turn, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can special summon 1 Memento monster from your hand or graveyard. Whoo boy, okay, that's a big stat line, but the requirement is pretty hefty. The other Memento cards have ways to send the other 5 Memento names to the grave or add to your hand, so it shouldn't be too hard to achieve to bring this bad boy out. And if he's the only one on the field, he can just attack every monster on the field with his 5000 stat line. Actually insane. You can bring out other Memento monsters on response to an opponent's effect being activated. It's not a quick effect however, so it's only really useful on your own turn, and you wouldn't want there to be any more of them on the field. Anyway, since you want to ram that 5k stat line into the opponent. Interested to see how this deck fares. We got confirmation of some cards in the 2-player starter set, which confirms Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, Sky Thunder, and Manadian Primeheart as the cover, Xyz, and synchro monster of the set, which is honestly really good, because Zeus is just an insane card. There are other cards shown on here, but I will leave you to check that out for yourself. We also got 4 new cards that will be showing up in the onslaught of the Fire King's Reloaded structure deck, with a new Xyz monster, 2 new effect monsters, and 1 continuous spell. The Xyz monster is Fire King Deity Garunix Eternity, a rank 8 Fire Pyro Xyz effect monster with 3000 attack and 2000 defense, requiring 2 or more level 8 monsters. You only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. This card is Xyz summoned, you can destroy all other monsters on the field. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 spell or trap card on the field, destroy it. If you do, this card gains 500 attack. This card with material is destroyed, you can special summon Fire King monsters from your graveyard up to the number of materials this card had. Whoa, so this is some good generic field wipe, and it's also some good back row removal as well. I can see the rank 8 toolbox would appreciate these cards' utility. In terms of the Fire Kings, it being able to bring back Fire Kings based on materials it's currently at is pretty nice to recur. Not only that, with the new continuous spell, once the opponent special summons a monster, you can immediately Xyz summon a Fire Xyz monster using the Fire King monsters, to make it a board wipe on the opponent's turn. That's super cool. I like where the structure deck is going with the new cards and can't wait to see it drop here in the TCG, since we got Dark World's Reloaded structure deck last time. OCG have confirmed that they'll be getting our Goyi archetype in their World Premiere pack, that's it. To wrap things up, Duelist Nexus is fast approaching here in the TCG. We have confirmation that the new World Premiere archetype is called Destina, which is looking like a crystal phenomenon from what I see in the card art. Looking pretty fantastic here, but we still don't know what it does, so we'll just have to wait until the Yugi tubers cover it. Speaking of, We have the usual YouTubers covering the new stuff, such as the new 5Ds cards, the Illusion Monster type, and along with returning themes like Infernobles and Altergeist. To top it all off, Magicians of Bond and Unity will be exclusively a 25th quarter century secret rare, and will be in every core booster until the 25th anniversary passes. Looks like the background changes based on the set's base color, which is a nice touch for the 25th anniversary. Not only that, there will be 24 other quarter century secret rares to exist alongside it, which will be assigned to the ultras and secret rares of the core boosters. Guess my ultra rare Infernobles now have a quarter century to go along with it. Excited, they're gonna look so nice with that rarity foil. And that's a wrap. Thank you all for watching or listening to this video. I appreciate that you reached the end of this video. If you like these quick news roundup, please subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want more of this, and I will speak with you all in the next roundup.